bipolar. What's up everyone, my name is G. If you don't know, now you know. So I am a polyglot, and that basically means someone who can speak lots of languages.
Wow.
So I can speak English, Welsh, Swedish and French. Yeah, so at the moment I am learning Russian, Albanian and Korean, as well as keeping on top of the 4 languages I already have. I've seen a lot of videos on tips on learning a new language and tips on how to learn a new language quickly, but I haven't really seen much videos on how to learn multiple languages and how not to kind of get them mixed up. So other than actually moving to the country that speaks that language, there are a couple of things that you can do to kind of stop yourself from getting a bit confused, and here's some of the things that have helped me. So tip number 1 is practice every day, even if it's just for 5 minutes. My number 1 tip of doing this is dedicate a day to a language. So on Wednesdays I do Swedish, on Fridays I do French, on Saturdays I do Russian, and so on. And even if it's just like 5 minutes out of your day, it kind of helps your brain to separate between the different days. I find it really helpful to use different notebooks for different languages, just so you kind of get into the habit of, okay, so this blue notebook is French and it has all my French notes in it. And I'm a very organised person. Like if you watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine, I'm an Amy.
Wow.
Yeah. I want to be a Rosa, but I'm an Amy.
Yay!
If you get that reference, let me know in the comments. Another thing that I found really helpful is to use a different resource. So there's tons of really good resources, like this video isn't sponsored, but there's just so many great resources out there. If I watch some YouTube videos in Swedish on Wednesday, on Thursday when I do Albanian, I will probably not use YouTube to watch. I'll probably not use YouTube to learn Albanian because I did that the day before with Swedish. Number 2 is watch TV shows and films in that language. My favourite thing to do when I am learning a language is to find my favourite film or TV show in that language. So if any of you are learning Russian at the minute, it is a TV program called The Sniffer on Netflix. It is so good, I really recommend it. And for Korean it's Parasite, the film Parasite, so good. So yeah, comment down below which language you're learning or which language you want to learn, and I'll give you a TV series or a film in that language to watch. I also think Disney films are really good for this. I don't know about you guys, but I am a huge Disney fan, so I already know the stories of Disney, so if I watch them in another language I kind of already know what's going on. So I can watch it in Swedish with subtitles, I can watch it in Russian with English subtitles. Disney Plus is great, it has tons of audio in different languages, and yeah. One thing that I will say is never mix, so never have the audio in one language you're learning and the subtitles in another language you're learning, because they go into the same place in your brain anyway and they're gonna get confused. Like, they don't need to be encouraged. The third thing is make it fun. Like, learning a language doesn't have to be boring and doesn't have to be sticking your head in books all the time. I used to drive my housemates crazy when I was trying to learn Swedish because my housemate got a label maker for her birthday and she decided she wanted to label everything, but I also wanted to label everything in Swedish, and she got so annoyed because I just wouldn't refer to anything in its English word or Welsh word. I would just say it in Swedish. She used to go nuts. So put like sticky notes on your kettle, sticky notes in your mug, and the next time you go and make a cup of tea you see that word for a kettle or a tea bag or a mug in the language that you're learning. It's genius, you know? Yeah, so this is great if you're a visual learner, or I think it's kinesthetic or I don't know. Learn by doing, basically. Yeah. Another way to make it fun is get a bit creative. If you are a creative type, I would encourage you to maybe find a phrase that you like in the language that you're learning, or a phrase that you can't remember that's driving you insane, and make like a pretty picture out of it, or yeah, just have some fun, be creative. Number 4 is listen to podcasts or music. On my Spotify and Apple Play, I have a Russian G, Swedish G, French G, and they are all filled with music in that language that I listen to. Listen to podcasts or YouTube videos of the language of that day just before bed. This is really good if you have forgotten to do your language for that day, if you've been a bit busy. For some reason, our brains just before we go to sleep are like sponges, so it's actually the best time to learn a language is like a few hours or maybe an hour before you go to sleep. My favourite thing to do is pop some headphones in and listen to a Swedish podcast or a podcast in Russian before I go to sleep. Number 5 is find some friends, find some native speakers, find some people that speak that language, that are willing to practice speaking that language with you, and that will be kind if you say things wrong. Or if you're an introvert like me and don't really like speaking to people, try and find some influencers on Instagram to follow that post things in the language that you're learning, or YouTubers. I love watching YouTubers in Swedish. I think they're really cool. This is really good to help practice some of the slang words that might come up and just learn some vocab that you might not get on Duolingo or any of the other sites. And finally, you are doing so great. Like, you've already conquered the first hurdle, starting to learn a language. So I really want to encourage you to keep going. You are doing amazing. Don't forget to click that subscribe button and click the notification bell if you want to know when I upload. Comment below if you're learning a language. If you think I left out any tips, let me know. I would love to hear yours. I feel like we can help each other learn languages. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you soon. I might just cut my hair off. That should be my thumbnail. Oh, so cute with the lights. Oh yeah.